What's up, guys? 19.4 is here, and it's gonna be one that definitely hurts the core, the grip, the lungs, everything above. It's gonna be a fast blast. So, what we're getting into again really quick as a little overview. You guys are gonna be doing 2 couplets, 3 rounds of each, starting with 3 rounds of 10 snatch, followed by 12 bar facing burpees. After you get done with those 3 rounds, you get 3 minutes rest. Rest with an open workout? Is this heaven right now? It's actually bait. So don't fall for it as much as you think you want to. Then you guys are gonna have 3 rounds of 10 bar muscle ups, 12 bar facing burpees. Once you complete all that, it's your time. Or it's as far as you can get within a 12-minute time cap. So if you guys watched a lot of those professionals, a lot of those elite athletes go, they were finishing with not that much time left, not as much as I thought they were gonna have, right? I think the guy from the Netherlands finished at like 10:55. Patrick Vellner, we didn't get to see him go, but I heard somewhere like early 11 minutes, somewhere around there is where he finished. So it's gonna, like 12 minutes is an aggressive time cap. So we're kind of breaking this workout down kind of the way we did last workout, 19.3, where we have some limiters that people are gonna have, all right? So obviously the big limiter is gonna be this bar muscle up right here, okay? So let's talk about bar muscle ups first, because that's gonna be kind of what strategy path you guys should take, all right? So for those of you guys that can do bar muscle ups any given day, maybe it's your wheelhouse, maybe it's just something that you're just really good at, or maybe it's just something that you could do, even though you might not be able to do sets of 10, we're gonna talk about that, okay? So if you can do all of the movements here, you're looking at none of this like I'm not limited by the movement, all right? Then what we want to have you guys think about, if you saw how the elite athletes went, right? They did this first couplet in about 240, 230, 245, somewhere around there, which is pretty dang fast, right? Unbroken, fast on the burpees. They took their rest. Then they started at about 540-ish, somewhere around there, and it took them till almost 11 minutes, or right around 11 minutes, to be able to do this second part. What I want you guys to think about is it might be smarter to go just a little slower on your first 3 rounds. Yes, you're gonna have rest, but now think about how much better you're gonna feel and how much harder you might be able to go on that second couplet, all right? So something to think about here is if you can go 90% instead of 100, if you can go 90 or 95% for this first couplet, you rest when you go into this next couplet. If you can hold a 90 to 100% somewhere within there, obviously the last set of bar facing burpees, I wrote that wrong. That should be 12. 12 bar facing burpees, that last set's gonna be as fast as possible. You're gonna die out on that, and that's okay. But if you can go 90% and 90%, it's better than going 100 and then 70 and trying to hang on for dear life on the bar muscle ups, or having to break them up, or going to failure, or going really slow on these bar facing burpees, all right? It's just something to think about here. If you know you're pacing and you know that you can do all the movements, it might be something to think about going 90% resting, 90, 95% resting, and then going 90, 95, 100%. Obviously, kind of crank it up as you get going through those rounds. Might be better than you coming super hot out the gate and then not finishing, or going 100% and then going 70%, right? It doesn't add up to a faster time than kind of not slowing down, but conservatively a faster aggressive pace, all right? So something to think about while you guys are going through that, okay? If you can do bar muscle-ups, but let's say you're pretty limited by the movement, so you could do 1, 2, 3, maybe 5 in a row is like your max, right? 30 of them is gonna be a lot of total bar muscle-ups for you, especially after doing all this work up here for the first couplet. What we want you guys to think about here is going out fast for this first piece, getting a fast tie break time, because that's the time you complete the first 3 rounds, getting a fast tie break time, and then maybe even resting a little bit into here. So once your 3 minutes is up, doesn't mean just hop right on the bar. You might want to rest a little bit longer, knowing that you might have to do 1, 2, or 3 muscle ups at a time, all right? If you know that 30 is just a big number for you, maybe you break that up into sets of 3s or 5s, right? But going bigger than that might feel real good, but then you still have 2 more rounds of this you have to do, all right? So you're gonna be limited obviously by grip, by core fatigue, by your ability to breathe while you're going through this high dynamic movement, all right? But just think about that while you're going through this. We don't want you to come out slow here get a slow tie break time, and then not be able to do that, right? It's kind of like it's a gamble. You either start a little bit faster and you buy more time here, or you start off slower, but then you don't have enough time to get as many reps as you quite want, all right? So if you guys can't do bar muscle ups, you obviously have two options here. You can scale this thing, go through this, get the best score you can, right? Put up the best time you possibly can with the movements that you can do, or you can go as fast as you can through the first 3 rounds, get the fastest tie break time, and then buy yourself a lot of time to try and get one. That doesn't mean once your 3 minutes is up, go right into trying your first bar muscle up, but maybe you rest 3 minutes and then you rest another 2 more minutes. You have the time. So take that extra time, rest, and then try to get your first bar muscle up, right? Don't feel like you have to rush right into that if you're trying to get your first one tonight or whenever you guys are doing 19.4, all right? So those are kind of the categories you guys are gonna fall into. You either can do all the work, you can half do the work, right? Might just be dependent on this workout or what they're paired with, or you can't do bar muscle ups in general, all right? And if you can't, gave you guys that last little bit of advice. All right, so 2 big limiters here on this workout are obviously gonna be your grip fatigue because of the snatches and the bar muscle ups, but it also might be your core fatigue. Think about all of these movements you're doing here. You're flexing, you're extending, you're flexing, you're extending, you're flexing, you're extending, you're flexing and extending. So you're doing a lot of similar movement patterns in all 4 of these movements, or all 3 of these movements, all right? So while you guys are going through all this, try to think about bracing your core, breathing through your core. So every time the bar goes up, you're breathing out, right? Every time the bar goes back in, breathe in, or sorry, the bar goes down, breathe in to stabilize that spine, so that way you can have the best core posture you can. The last thing you want to do is blaze through that, feel really good, and then you get onto the bar muscle ups and you're like, oh man, where'd my core go? I can't use my hips, my core to help get me over the bar. Now I'm really having to use my arms and fatiguing that grip even more, all right? So obviously efficiency in your snatch, efficiency in your bar muscle up is gonna be really effective for you guys in limiting your grip and core fatigue, right? And obviously that's also gonna be helping with breathing, knowing that bracing it is the key component to bracing, right? Breathing is bracing. So let's go back and talk about this first movement here, which we're all gonna get to do in some weight or capacity, which is snatches, all right? You saw some guys start off with muscle snatches and some guys start off with power snatches. That's gonna obviously be kind of strength dependent and also muscular endurance dependent. So if you know that you can muscle snatch all 30 reps and that's really fast for you and your grip doesn't go, awesome. It's gonna be probably a little bit faster and you can save your legs for the burpees. Do it, all right? I would recommend for most people that we want to save our grip a little bit more because those bar muscle ups are going to be more taxing than we think. But to do power snatches, right? Or you saw kind of like a hybrid muscle power snatch thing. But essentially, if you don't muscle snatch it and you come under the bar in some form or fashion, press out, lock out underneath that bar, it's going to help you be a little bit more efficient as we go through this. So as you guys are going through these snatches, play with some muscle snatches, play with some power snatches. Obviously, muscle snatch is gonna limit that grip a little bit longer. The power snatch is probably gonna be a little bit slower, but more efficient overall, all right? Even though you're gonna be using your legs a little bit more, which you will need obviously for the bar facing burpees. So just a little bit more flexion and extension in that core. Let's talk about these bar facing burpees. If you guys didn't know, you're doing 72 total here. So while it seems really easy to do 12 really fast, get them out of the way, that's 72 total bar facing burpees you guys are doing in this workout if you complete all 6 rounds. All right, that's a lot. Now the standard did change. So if you guys saw the bar facing burpees, you don't have to jump back and jump forward. You can step back and step forward just as long as the quads, chest touch the ground. You're good to do whichever one you want. Now, we tested both of these right now before this, so that way we could kind of give you guys the side-by-side and time comparison. When we did the jumping bar-facing burpees, it took me 27 seconds to do those, and that was at a pretty quick pace. Like I might have been able to go just a hair faster, but I wanted to see what it would be in real time mixed with other movements, all right? So 27 seconds is about what it took. Could be a little faster, could obviously be a little bit slower. But the stepping version took me 36 seconds, so a 9-second difference. Now, a lot of times people are looking at like 9 seconds, that's not too much time. It's not, but if you think about this, if your objective is to get the fastest tie break time you can, and you get, let's say, almost a 10-second difference, between 3 rounds, man, you're buying yourself 30 seconds on a tie break time. Or if you need more rest on top of that 3 minutes to get your first bar muscle up, or if you need a little bit more time to just buy more time to do sets of 2, sets of 3, sets of 5s for the bar muscle up, you might need to go a little bit faster on this first piece. So as a little breakdown, that buys you, like I said, 30 extra seconds on top of some time that you might already need to buy for yourself for the 10 bar muscle ups and the 12 bar facing burpees. All right. So as you guys are going through that, obviously you can play its apart. If you jump really fast on this first set and then you go to really, really slow stepping, let's say it takes you 45 seconds to do the stepping, right? Or you jump, but it still takes you 30, 40, 45 seconds to do that. You might want to think about starting a little bit slower. Maybe it's a mixture of stepping the first couple and then going to jumping on each set. So like stepping 6, jumping 6, and then going right into the barbell. When you get down here, obviously that last set of bar facing burpees needs to be really quick, right? You know you're done after that. Same thing on this last set of bar facing burpees up there. You need to be able to go fast right there, all right? So there's not too much strategy on top of those 2 things. You know where you're at. A lot of this is just pacing, right? There's not a lot of technique differences that are going to make or break this workout. Obviously, you just want to set up the bar right in front of the rig, keep it nice and close. The best thing to let you guys know about this workout is that this workout, this energy system you guys are going to be working in right here is the pain zone. This is not like one of those long, drawn-out, endurance-y type workouts where you're going to have to hold pace for 15 plus minutes, where you know that the pain's going to set in, but it's something you can hold and maintain. This one, it's going to be the ones that you set in and it's going to want to make you quit, and you can't. You know that you get rest here and you know you get rest here. So deal with the pain for these 3 rounds and deal with the pain in the middle of those 3 rounds, all right? Go fast, rest later, give effort where you can. Obviously, if you know you can finish this whole workout, you know what kind of strategy you're going to do. If you know that the bar facing burpees, the bar muscle ups, where you fit within that workout, that movement, you know where you need to break it up, where you need to push, where you need to hold, and then just keep a good pace. Try and focus on breathing while you're going through those bar facing burpees, and you guys are going to be good on 19.4. All right. What we want to see from you guys, if you like this video, hit the thumbs up button, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, leave us a comment, let us know how we're doing, let us know what you want to hear from us on any of our social platforms. We're here to help you guys, and we can't wait to see you. 19.5.